Hello viewers, my name is Eemaan Khalil and today I'm going to talk about unemployment. Unemployment is the state of being willing and able to work but not having a job. When we talk about unemployment, we might encounter some key words such as economically active, economically inactive, labor force participation rate, discouraged workers, underemployment. So first of all, economically inactive are those not in the labor force. Economically active are those in the labor force. Labor force is the unemployed as well as the employed. Labor force of an economy is the total number of workers available to work. Underemployment is a situation where workers are in jobs where they're overqualified for, they're working fewer hours. Whereas discouraged workers are workers who have given up looking for a job because they have spent too much time looking for a job. Now let's move ahead to the types of unemployment or the causes of unemployment. They can be broadly categorized into frictional unemployment, structural unemployment, and cyclical unemployment. So first of all, frictional unemployment is unemployment that is temporary and arises when workers are in between jobs, whereas structural unemployment is unemployment that arises because of changes in the structure of an economy, and cyclical unemployment is unemployment that arises because of a lack of aggregate demand. Now first of all, let's head back to frictional unemployment. Now frictional unemployment is temporary unemployment. There are 4 forms of frictional unemployment and they include voluntary unemployment, surge unemployment, seasonal unemployment, and casual unemployment. So first of all, voluntary unemployment is unemployment that arises when the unemployed chooses not to accept the job at the going wage rate or working conditions, whereas surge unemployment is unemployment that arises when workers do not accept the jobs or the first job or the jobs on offer and they spend time looking for better paid jobs or with better working conditions. And then there's also seasonal unemployment. Seasonal employment is unemployment that occurs at particular times of the year because demand for some products falls, whereas casual unemployment is unemployment when workers are out of work between periods of unemployment. So casual unemployment seriously affects supply teachers, actors, and construction workers. Let's move ahead to structural unemployment. And structural unemployment is unemployment that occurs because of changes in the structure of an economy. You see, over time, the pattern of demand and supply change. Demand for some products rises while demand for some products falls. Industries expand while some industries decline. New methods of production are brought up and there are new advances in technology. So these changes in the structure of an economy cause structural unemployment and workers are unable to keep up with these changes. Now there are 3 forms of structural unemployment and they include regional unemployment. Regional employment is unemployment that occurs when there's a decline in job vacancies in a particular region of the country, whereas technological unemployment is unemployment caused by advances in technology. And then there's also international unemployment, which is unemployment that occurs when a country loses its international competitiveness in producing a product or products. Let's move ahead to cyclical unemployment, and cyclical unemployment is also known as demand deficient unemployment. It is an unemployment that occurs because of a lack of aggregate demand. Cyclical unemployment is the most perilous unemployment because it affects the entire economy slowly but surely. It causes unemployment in almost every industry, because even if wage rates fall, this unemployment would continue, it would persist, because if there's a cut in wages, workers as consumers would lose their purchasing powers because they don't have the income or very low income to purchase goods and services. This low demand for goods and services would enable firms to take a step, and the step would be to cut production or to just make more workers redundant, and this will keep on happening and keep on happening and keep on happening, and this will affect the entire economy. So cyclical unemployment is the most perilous unemployment. Now let's move ahead to the consequences of unemployment. Now there are 10 consequences of unemployment for the unemployed, for the economy, and for the firms also. So first let's discuss the consequences of unemployment for the unemployed person. Well, the unemployed person might suffer a loss of self-worth, decline in mental and physical health, marriage breakups, adverse impact on the education of children, and loss of that work habit, and confidence might dip a lot. Whereas when it comes to the firms, firms can lose and win when it comes to unemployment. First of all, if it's frictional unemployment, especially when it's frictional unemployment, what firms can have this benefit is that, you see, frictional unemployment is temporary unemployment. So it makes an economy more responsive to changes in the demand and supply conditions, and because of that, firms can make themselves very much able to tackle those changes and like keep their supply very flexible, and this is a good thing for firms. And firms can also benefit from workers not requesting for wage rises as they fear that they might lose their job. But firms may also suffer because of the lower demand for their goods and services. As a result, they would have to cut production and make workers redundant. So this will mean no profit maximization, no survival, no growth. So we are all losing. Now let's talk about the consequences for the economy. Well, remember one thing, that during unemployment, the economy experiences an opportunity cost. Now you see, during unemployment, the output of an economy is below the potential level, because if the unemployed were employed, they would be producing more goods and services, and in this way, living standards would be higher, whereas this would not be the case when there's unemployment. So during unemployment, output is below the potential level. In addition to that, the tax revenue collected by the government would be lower because not many people work, so there's no income or very low income. In addition to that, most of the tax revenue would be used to provide state benefits like unemployment benefits to those unemployed. So the government would be unable to increase government spending on, say, education, healthcare, skills development program, training for people, So these are the consequences of unemployment. Well, now you might be thinking, how to tackle unemployment? Now, as I told you before umpteen times, an efficient allocation of resources is very, very important to tackle unemployment. Unemployment cannot be eliminated, but it can be tackled, and we can ensure that it is tackled through very efficient policies. So first of all, in order to tackle unemployment, we must ensure what type of unemployment it is. So we are able to make the concepts clear and apply proper policies to it. For instance, let's talk about frictional unemployment, temporary unemployment. Now, when it comes to frictional unemployment, it would be very prudent to use supply-side policies. And supply-side policies, well, what type of supply-side policies? Supply-side policies such as labor market reforms. Labor market reforms tend to increase the flexibility, quality, and quantity of labor. Labor market reforms could include, say, better training, removal of barriers to entry such as excessive qualifications, or removal of barriers to exit such as long contracts. And some governments also use one type of labor market reform, that is making it easier for employers to hire and fire labor. This makes firms more flexible to adjust their supply to the changing market conditions of demand and supply. So it's quite helpful for them. So yeah, this can increase job security. You might be thinking that, but it can help for firms to stay in line with those changes in the market conditions. And in addition to that, labor market reforms could also include reform of trade unions. Reducing the power of trade unions might enable firms not to take industrial action, and this would bring no disruption in production and no loss of revenue, so this would also increase the efficiency of labor. In addition to that, the gap between pay and unemployment benefits must be increased by reducing income tax rates and increasing and reducing unemployment benefits. This would make workers more actively seek for work, and this can be very helpful also. And in addition to that, the government should also provide more information on job vacancies in a particular region of the country, so workers will be more acquainted with what kind of jobs are on offer. In addition to that, when it comes to structural unemployment, we should also use supply-side policies. But what type of supply-side policies? Well, to tackle structural unemployment, the unemployed must be more occupationally and geographically mobile, and we can do that through improving education and training, because improving education and training is designed to increase the skills of workers, and this would make workers more productive, and higher labor productivity will lead to reduce costs of production and high quality of the products produced. This would enable firms to sell more, expand more. Consumers would also have higher living standards, as they would be able to consume more goods and services, and this would be really good. In addition to that, workers would also be they would adjust smoothly and quickly to changes in the market conditions of demand and supply, so structural unemployment is tackled. Well, when it comes to cyclical unemployment, we have to increase aggregate demand, and we can do that through expansionary fiscal policy and expansionary monetary policy. Expansionary fiscal policy is reducing tax rates and increasing government spending, and expansionary monetary policy is reducing interest rates. This can enable more aggregate demand, and this would of course enable firms to increase their output and hire more workers. Now let's talk about the measures of unemployment. Well, measures of unemployment are the two other methods that governments used in order to measure unemployment. Those two methods are the Clement count major and the labor force survey major. The Clement count major is a major of unemployment based on those claiming unemployment benefits. Well, the Clement count major is actually quite inexpensive. It's very quick because it's already based on data that's already collected by the government, but there are high levels of inaccuracy in Clement count major. Yep, the figure that you might get could be not accurate at all. It could be higher or it could be lower than the actual figure. When it comes to the labor force survey major, it is a major of unemployment based on a survey that is taken according to the International Labour Organization definition of unemployment. So the labor force survey major is definitely, that is more widely used than the Clement count major, and it's better. It has more accuracy levels, but it is expensive, time consuming, and sampling error could also occur because you cannot take survey from the entire unemployed population or the entire population if you want to see whether they are employed, whether they're unemployed. So sample is chosen, and that sample might be not representative of the entire sample. So yeah, sampling errors could occur in the labor force survey major. So yeah, well, that's it for now. Thank you so much for watching.